Hi there, everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Elizabeth. Today, I have a practice for you that is all about taking things a little bit slower. Yoga is primarily a practice of the breath, learning how to use our breath to relax the body and just quieten the mind a little bit. And hopefully, these are things that we can bring into this practice today. So if you would like to bring a little bit of focus and clarity into your day, whilst also moving with intention, then this is the place to start. You might want to have a block to hand today, or maybe a blanket as well. It's entirely up to you. They're not necessary, but sometimes these things just help to support us and make our practice feel a little bit easier on our bodies, but it's entirely up to you. We are going to start in a seated position, so you can use your blanket to sit on. In fact, I think I may well do that myself today, so just propping myself up. Sitting on a blanket or a block has the effect of making your hips slightly higher than your knees in most cases, and it just makes the whole posture feel a little bit more comfortable. This pose is known as easy seated pose, but obviously it's not going to be easy for everyone. So please find an easy seated pose that works for you. So when you are comfortable, let's just close the eyes, relax the hands wherever they fall, and begin by lifting your shoulders up to your ears to give them a big old squeeze. And then as you breathe out, maybe making a sighing sound, shrug those shoulders down. We're going to start just by bringing all our focus onto our breath. So try and ignore other sounds or noises going on around you. And as you breathe in, feel your belly inflate. Don't force the breath, so you're not really trying to push that belly out too much, but gently feel that belly rising as you breathe in and falling as you breathe out. And bit by bit, we're just trying to extend the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale, but to a point that works for you. So you might want to breathe in for a count of 4, possibly hold the breath at the top, and then breathe out for the same count. But if this feels too much, if it feels like a strain, then obviously drop it down to 3. Or if you feel you have more air in your lungs, then maybe increase that count to 5. Wherever you are, we're going to stay here for maybe 3 to 5 inhales and exhales, beginning to slow down, lengthen that breath pattern. And when we begin our movement, our physical practice, we are going to match our movement to our breath, slowing down the movement to match our breathing. And then hopefully, when we do this, it will help to calm our minds, slow the thoughts down. We're not trying to stop thinking. We're not trying to have no thoughts going on in our mind, because that is completely impossible. But when we really choose to tune into our breathing and to move with focus, then it also gives us the opportunity to choose which thoughts we would like to hold on to and which thoughts we can happily let go of. Maybe taking this off our mat as well as we go through our day, just drawing yourself back to slowing down your breath and slowing your thoughts as well. If you have your eyes closed, gently begin to open your eyes. And as we breathe in, we draw our arms all the way towards the ceiling, touching our palms together. And as we breathe out, taking our hands towards the heart. One more time, we breathe in, touch the palms, and as we exhale, draw the hands all the way down towards our heart. Coming over onto all fours now, so just taking that blanket to one side. Have it handy in case you need to use it again. Stacking our wrists under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, keeping our gaze towards the floor. And as we inhale, starting the movement from the tailbone, just lifting the tailbone to the ceiling, dropping the belly to the floor, lifting the chest and the gaze. And as we exhale, rippling the spine the opposite way, starting at the base of the spine, working your way up to the top. This is a fantastic movement to coordinate our breath with our physical body. So keep going, go at your pace. You may be slightly faster than me. You might be a little bit slower than me, or we may be perfectly in tune. We go one way and we go the other. As we return back to our start position, we're going to tuck our toes underneath us and just push the bottom back towards the heels. Reach the arms out in front, maybe come onto the fingertips here as we round through the spine and lower the chin to the chest, giving the back of our body a beautiful stretch. Inhale, work your way back onto all fours. And then in your own time, lifting the hips up and backwards, we're going to come into a downward facing dog. If we can, keep the hands where they are with the fingers wide and just take those feet into a position that feels good for you. Walk them around a little bit, have a little dance with the feet. And then when you feel your balance is equal between hands and feet, maybe lower one heel to the earth as you bend the opposite knee, walking out through the back of the legs, moving each leg with an inhale and with an exhale as we push the earth away through the hands. Let that head feel heavy. Give it a little bit of a shake. Imagine any unnecessary thoughts just falling out from the crown of your head and puddling in a little pool on your mat beneath you. From our downward facing dog, we're going to shift that weight forward into a plank. A nice strong movement where we squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs, draw the belly in, and keeping those shoulders over the wrists. Let's take a breath or two here before lowering knees to the earth and pushing back into that lengthened child's pose again. Inhale, bring it forward onto all fours, taking it up into your downward facing dog. Slowly drawing your body forwards into a plank, knees to the earth and back to a child's pose. Just doing this once more, flowing through these movements as our breath flows easily through our body, back into that downward facing dog, forwards into our plank, knees to the earth, back into a child's pose, taking the weight off the wrists if they are feeling a little bit tight after all those down dogs and plank positions. Drawing yourself out of your child's pose, just sitting back on your knees, we are going to bring our right foot in front of us and keeping our left knee kind of underneath the hip, maybe slightly behind the hip. So it's a lunge posture, but you're pushing your hips forward a little bit here, just checking where my leg is behind me. Always handy to have a wall, I find. So your right knee is over the ankle and the hips are facing forward. If we push our hips forward and squeeze this left glute, draw your belly in and really be aware of not actually just throwing your weight forward, just dumping your weight forward. We have control through our physical body, just as we have control through our breathing. Resting the hands lightly on that right thigh, staying tall through the upper body as we draw the shoulders back and down here. Take a lovely breath in. Let's reach the arms up towards the ceiling. And then as we exhale, float the hands down towards the earth. Now this is where you can use your block if you want to on the inside of that right foot. We're just going to reach the right arm up towards the ceiling here, coming into a little twist. If you're feeling a little bit of pressure under the knee, you can always lift up onto that back foot as well if you want. Bringing your right arm down, we're going to take our right leg and just drop it out to the side a little bit here. Just make it easier resting your hand on the block. It just brings the floor a little bit closer up towards you. I'm just going to add on a little extra here. This is completely optional, but if you're in this position with your right leg just drop to the side a little bit, you might want to reach behind with your right hand and see if you can take a hold of your left foot. I know this isn't for everyone, but if you want to just give that a little go, just see how it feels. If it's not for you today, then please don't force your body into making any shape it doesn't want to make. Let's lift ourselves up once more. Inhale, exhale, take the hands back down towards the heart. And all we're going to do is swap those legs over. So the right knee drops to the earth, the left foot comes in front. I'm going to use my block once more. So the right knee is slightly behind the hips are facing forward. Find your balance, find your focus. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, float the hands to the earth. Take that right hand onto the block or the floor as we lift the left arm. Bringing the hand down, we just drop that knee out to the side. So again, as we drop the knee, we're not just throwing the weight down, we're having a little bit of control. And again, see how it feels on this side. You might be able to lift that right leg behind, reach behind with the left, and come into this little twist. Being very mindful of your movement and keeping it centered with your breath. Taking your hands now either side of that left foot. We're going to tuck the toes of the right and just bring ourselves forward towards the top of the mat. Taking your feet a little bit wider, maybe hip distance, allowing your upper body to drape over your lower body, holding onto the ankles or fingers to the floor or even hands to the opposite elbow, just giving yourself a little sway from side to side. Again, feeling heaviness through the crown of the head, closing the eyes and focusing on your breathing. Opening your eyes and slowly working your way all the way up to standing, rolling those shoulders back and down. We are going to step wide on the mat, turning the toes out to the outer corners. Bring your hands to your heart, and we're just going to sit ourselves down into this squat position. Sometimes it feels quite nice just to rock from side to side here, easing into our hips. As we take that lovely long breath in, we're going to straighten the legs and bring the arms up to shoulder height. And then as we exhale, take it back down into this wide leg squat, pushing those knees out towards the small toes. We inhale and exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale down. Last time, we're going to take it up now. So we inhale, opening out the arms. We're going to take our right foot to face the long edge of the mat and turn the left foot to face the back of your mat or the left-hand side of your mat. As we take that breath in, we reach towards the left. As we breathe out, we rotate the arms over, extending right arm to the ceiling, left arm down to the floor. And if this feels too much with this arm raised, we can just take it behind the back, roll the shoulder down a little bit here, keep the gaze to the floor. If you're feeling a little bit dizzy, well, you can look forward or even up to the ceiling, pushing into your back foot as well as your front foot. And by staying in our triangle pose for a little bit longer, you can really think about drawing that breath in and out. Feel the breath working its way through your entire body. Bringing a bend into your left knee now. Use your feet to draw yourself all the way up. We're going to turn on the toes, facing the right hand side now. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, triangle pose the opposite way. And again, that arm can wrap behind the back if that feels more comfortable for you. Taking that long inhale, long exhale. One more time here. Bending into that right knee, pushing through your feet, bringing yourself up to standing. We're going to flare the toes once more. Exhale, sink it down into that prayer squat. Inhale, open the arms, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, sink it down. Inhale, keeping the arms where they are. We are turning once more to the left, maybe making the distance between the feet a little wider as we find our warrior two. How to think about that then, warrior two. Left knee out towards the small toe, pushing into the back foot as well as the front. Staying here again for about 2 or 3 breaths so you can really feel your body relaxing into this posture as your breath lengthens and your thoughts just drift away. Let's reverse that warrior now, taking the right hand down the back of the leg. Moving with the breath, we draw back over. One more time, reversing our warrior. Bringing it back. Straightening the left leg, turning on the heels, and repeating that movement towards the right. Setting your foundations up by planting your feet firmly. Stay here for an inhale or two and an exhale or two. Reversing our warrior. Drawing it back over. Letting that breath flow with the movement, or the movement flow with the breath. Finding warrior two. Straightening through the leg. Draw the hands to the heart, coming down into that wide-legged squat. Maybe a little rock, easing into the hips once more. Heel toe your feet in just a little bit, or step them in. We're going to lower our way down to the floor. Through a squat if that's okay. If not, just come down any other way. So when you're ready, lower it down. All the way down we come. It's usually a bit of knee clicking when we do this. And when we get down to the floor in our little yogi squat, taking our hands behind us and extending the legs wide on your mat. So if you're facing the long edge of your mat, your feet are sort of maybe still on your mat, maybe off the mat a little bit. So this is where a block can come in handy to rest your hands on rather than reaching down to the floor. I'm just going to bring the block in front of me a little bit. We're lengthening through the spine so you can feel your sit bones rooting down to the earth, making our spine as long as we can. If your feet are flexed, if the toes are facing up, you're immediately getting a stretch down the inside of that leg. If it's too much, either draw the legs in a bit, let the toes go floppy. Okay, so in our wide-legged position, we're going to come into a little forward fold. We're going to hinge from the hips, so resting the hands on the block. All we're going to do is have this movement with the spine. So just lengthen forward. Keep that gaze on a spot in front of you, your little drishti, your focal point. You might be able to get your forearms down onto the block. Just make sure your head doesn't disappear into your shoulders. Find length through your spine. Find length down through your legs as well. Let's just close our eyes here for a second or two as well. And you might find that the longer you stay in these positions, the stretch eases off a little bit, giving you some movement to go a little bit further. Don't push yourself though. If it gets too much, you always have the option of going the other way as well and sitting upright. From here, we are going to draw our left foot into our center. You might need to give it a little bit of a helping hand, having left it to one side for a while. So the left foot is into the center, the right foot is still extended out. Taking your right hand onto your left knee and your left hand behind. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. Draw that twist over towards the left so you can feel the muscles around your center pulling you gently towards the left as you exhale. As you take your next inhale, see if you've got any more space within your body to lengthen. And as you exhale, drawing yourself round a little bit further. You can use your hand if you would like as a slight leverage. or you can just rely on your center, your core muscles to draw you round. Bringing ourselves back to face the front now, taking that right hand down onto the right leg. Lift the left arm up and let's have a little twist over towards the right. Inhale, come back to center, and we're just going to swap those legs over. I have a visitor. Hello, visitor. So our right leg comes in and our left leg goes out towards the side. We're going to have our twist on this side. So we take the left hand onto the right knee, the right hand. Inhale, find that length. Exhale, twist over towards the right. Nice big breath in, relaxing through the shoulders. Exhale, twisting around. Finding our way back to center, relaxing the left hand on the left leg, reaching that right arm up as we come into our side bend the opposite way. I can't tell if she's looking at the camera or not, but I hope you are all enjoying a little bit of Lola time now as well. Let's bring that hand all the way back over. Turning ourselves now, to face the short end of our mat. Very slowly, very gently, we're going to bring ourselves all the way down onto the floor here. So relaxing down. I'm actually going to use my blanket again, I'm going to rest my head on the blanket, hugging our knees in towards the chest and giving that spine a little bit of a rock from side to side, massaging into the back of the body. You can begin to close your eyes now if you wish, as we're spending the rest of our practice lying down on the floor. Dropping your left foot to the earth and extending that right leg towards the ceiling. Keeping softness through the shoulders, you might be able to take a hold of the leg behind the thigh or the calf. Or you might just want to rest the hand on the floor or on your belly. Inhaling through the nose, finding softness across the forehead. And as you exhale, see if you've got any movement to draw your leg a little bit closer. Be aware of keeping as much of your spine as you can in contact with the floor, so you're not rolling yourself up into a little shoulder stand situation. And then releasing the leg, if you have hold of it, on a single exhale, drawing your belly in. We're going to lower that leg all the way down towards the earth. When the heel taps the floor, just draw the heel and the foot in so the right knee is bent, and we can take that left leg up to the ceiling. Same thing on this side, holding the leg wherever feels comfortable, finding movement. If you have movement within your body, finding softness, finding some stillness through our mind. Just taking a couple of breaths here before we finish our slow moving, gentle stretch today. Releasing the leg if you have hold of it, and again on that single exhale, drop the foot towards the earth. Draw your heel back in towards you. Hug your knees once more into your chest as you give yourself a little roll on your mat. Returning your feet to the floor. Now you can stay here for a few minutes or so, just settling into this relaxed atmosphere that you've created. Or if you would prefer, you can come all the way back into a seated position just to take another couple of focused inhales and exhales at the end of this practice today. Thank you very much for joining myself and Lola on the mat today, and we hope that you are able to join us again very soon. If you enjoyed this class, then please do subscribe to my channel, drop me a like, drop me a comment, and the two of us, or maybe just the one of us, will see you on the mat again soon. Thank you.